Hi everyone, we're live. How we doing? Good. Look on his face like, oh no, we're recording. Don't worry, it's okay. Today we're going to be doing some trigonometry work with the calculator. It's our first time recording. Give yourselves a hand for doing that. Yes. It's an honor to be with you and to learn together, and hopefully people watching will end up learning as well. So before we begin, yay math! Yeah! So you can actually scream it, it's okay. Ready? Yay math! Yay math! All right, nice. Nice, never gets old. Yes, question already.
That was a really great TED Talk video you gave.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you liked it. And when did you watch it?
Just now.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay. Oh, you could have said never. I was going to say, I haven't. But I hope you do like it when you do see it. Talk about the need for this project. So let's talk about it in terms of trig. Last class, we learned about radians and degrees. You recall? Radians and degrees. And then we learned about how to convert between radians to degrees and degrees to radians. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me how that works. So suppose I have, let's say, 270 degrees, and I want to convert this to radians. What do I do? Yes, sir?
Multiply times radian over 180
So what exactly over 180?
degrees.
What? Pi radians over degrees, right? So pi. So we multiply by pi over 180, and then degrees cancels. What is 270 over 180? Simplify to?
Halves.
Say it again.
3 halves.
3 halves. This becomes
3 pi over 2.
3 pi over 2. Very good. The look on your face like, I will get this right. 3 pi over 2. Okay, so that was one conversion. And then the other conversion is if you're given something in, let's say, in radians, and you want to convert this to degrees. Now what do you multiply it by? Anyone, everyone?
180.
180 over pi. It's okay, you don't have to worry. Do you feel safe to make mistakes in this class?
Yeah.
That's how I feel too, like at the drive-thru. No! I got it wrong! I'm sorry, I just scared someone in the front. One like that. Pi over pi cancels. And what's 4 into 180? How many times?
45.
45, yes, it is a lot. 45. And then this is 180 degrees. So the radians and the pi's, they cancel. Degrees is left. This is 45 degrees. Any questions about the conversion between the two? Okay, now let's create a program to do it for us.
That sounds better.
Sounds fun, huh? So keeping in mind, the teacher in me must say, disclaimer, this is a checking tool that we're going to create together, something fun so you know you get the answers right or wrong on tests and stuff. You will need to perform the calculations to demonstrate understanding. However, the good news is, if you can create a program, definitely means you understand it. So not only do you understand it, not only mean you get the answer right every time, it also means you're learning some sort of cool technology stuff along the way. So for me, that's very exciting. Okay, so what should we call the program?
Radian.
Everyone's like being creative. Radian. Degree. What do you want to call it?
Radical.
Well, that would work, except we're not using radicals.
You should call it radical.
Like a gradient. The gradient.
Gradient.
The gradient.
Degradient.
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 Like sort of degrading them.
Yeah.
It's like, convert, you insignificant nothing.
Exactly.
Is that what goes to my mind? Degradient program, and we're going to create a new one. Call it Degradient. I can't get over it. D.
That's for typing. That's for typing answer.
Oh, Degradia.
Degradient.
Isn't that a song? Degradia.
the name of the city.
No.
Yeah.
Degradia. Disturbia, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it. From now on, we're going to walk in and be like, Degradia. You guys are being, don't let me scare you. I'm not going to scare you.
Too late. It's always like that. It's okay.
Okay. So, you see what we need to do. We need to start with degrees and end with radians, or start with radians and with degrees. So what should we do? What do we do? Yeah, we should do both. I definitely want to do both.
Oh.
What do you think first step should be? Yes.
If
Okay.
Yeah.
So find out what the person wants to do. Yes?
Ask what they want to do.
Ask what they want to do. Nice. Yes?
Same thing.
Figure
Come on, boy.
You would first ask them what is the initial,
Yep.
even it's a radian or a degree. So
Yep.
you go program and
Okay. Let's do it. So
Input.
we need to ask them. Let's input, correct. Let's input. So the way to input is hit the program key again. And actually I can get rid of this stuff here so we don't have to look at it anymore. So we're going to do program and you can see input output here. So we'll go straight over here and you see input's the first option, hit enter. So we're inputting alpha quotes is this alpha plus key down here. So we're asking them what? Tell you what. You remember how we've done previous programs and it tends to spill onto the next line if your line is too long? What I think we should do is I think we should put just some text saying radians to degrees first, and then we'll make our input degrees to radians, and that will be the question, the input we get. Observe, here's what I mean. I'm gonna go up, and I'm going to insert a new line. Okay, very important skill with this program. So if I do second delete, see this here? Second delete. Notice the cursor changed, and if I hit enter, I created a new line. Now let's prompt something. Or not prompt, display something. Let's display something. What I mean by that is, so I hit program, input, output, and display. We're going to display the other one, radians to degrees. Just some text. Just some text. So put that in, radians to degrees. Cornelius, are you okay? Yeah, are you sure? Okay. If you're not, you can say. Okay, yeah, that smile. Smile's perfect. It says it all. Okay, just let me know. 1. There. So you're basically saying, if you enter 1 in, this is what you want to do. So you're asking the person, push 1 if you want to go from radians to degrees. Push 2 if you want to go from degrees to radians. So however, we're not getting that input here yet. We're only getting it here. The reason we did it this way is so that it appears nicely, 1 on each line. Oh, I didn't do the 2, did I? Let's put the 2 in. You got a lot of keys snapping away. Did you just push them harder? So, what do you want to call this? Yes?
Don't we need to change input to display as well?
No, here's why. This is just text that we're writing out, correct? Then they will see this. They meaning the user meaning you. You will see this. And then you don't know the difference between the two once they're displayed. And you're just going to say 1 or 2, correct? You're just going to say 1 or 2. And that's what we really want from this user, you in this case. I'm going to keep calling it the user. You are using your program, correct? Does that make sense? Are you using your own program?
Yeah.
You're going to sell it on eBay or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it on eBay. Make a profit.
You might want to.
Use it for test.
It's possible, yeah. A lot of people just throw out that stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, yeah. So we're going to see this, and then let's put it to the test, actually. What do you want to call this variable? What do you want to call it? What letter?
A.
A, okay, we'll call it A. It's cool, easy enough. Let's see how it works. Okay, let's see how it works. It's always a good idea to test. You go second quit, and we're out of there. So we go to program. We're going to execute degradia. I hope we know what it means later in the semester. Oh, I did something wrong. So I'm going to go to my error. What did I do wrong?
Oh, is it the store?
The store doesn't work inside the quotes. Interesting.
Today I learned.
So we should say maybe 2.
Put the number 2.
That's misleading. I want to
Yeah,
do,
that's true.
what I want to do is insert.
What about like the minus?
Yeah, degree dash. I'm going to write out the word 2. I'm going to write out the word 2. Okay. So you just mess around with the delete key and the insert. You know, it's good practice to do that. So I'm going to just delete this. And I'm going to insert second insert. Okay. This should work. Let's go back into it just so you can see it one more time. Program, edit my degradia. There you go. Okay, any questions about inserting stuff, how it works? It's a little weird to not be able to bold things or block things like you would on a computer. So it's a little more nitty gritty. Let's enter my program. Degradia. Okay, this works nice.
Did you use a dot comma to set to a letter?
Comma. And you know what I could do also? I could put a space after this. So let's do 1, for example. I hit 1. And now A should be stored as 1. A should be stored as 1. Big milestone. Yeah. Let's prove that A is set as 1.
Wait,
Hit
Mr.
A.
D?
Hit enter. Yes.
It's not letting you go to 1. Like the cursor?
Oh, no, just type in 1. Oh, you can't scroll.
Can't
Just-
scroll.
Don't scroll, just push the number 1.
No. For the first, is it like for the first option?
Oh, the first option
Won't.
is just text. We don't
Oh, that's just
We're
text.
tricking
Okay.
the user.
Got it.
into
Okay.
thinking that it's, yeah. So you just do 1 or 2, basically.
Got it.
Just do 1 or 2. Okay, let's go back into the program and use it. Program, edit, Degradia.
Mr. D,
Yes, please.
is there a way to make it so that when you enter one, it's on the next line over? So that it's easier to see it when looking at it?
There should be a way. Does anyone know of a way to do a carriage return within this thing? I wonder if you can do,
Mr. D,
yeah,
you change the input to display.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then do input A. Yeah, I'll do it with you. Let's do program, input output, display, and then we'll take this off. Oh yeah, you know what you can do to make it nice? Go delete, delete, and then we'll do input on this line, program, input output, input.
You could just do another quotation.
Oh, another quotation, gotcha. Yeah, I was looking for that option. Good job. Alpha A. Okay, let's see how this looks. Should look more beautiful, huh? Program, nope, second quit. Program, run. Nice, okay, I like that more. So you're not getting confused. Okay, let's do it. Second quit out of here, should work fine. Program, edit Degradia, and we're in. Now what should we do with A? What should we do with A? Go ahead.
If A equals 1.
If A equals 1, do this. If A equals 2, do that. Great. Awesome. So we're going to do if something. Yes?
Oh, wait, no.
Okay. Program. Now you see here the if keys right there. If A equals. So the equals key is second test. That's how to find that, okay? So second test is that. If A equals 1. Do that. If A equals 1, we're going to do something now. Okay? In order to do what we want to do, we have to put a then. So it's basically, if this is true, then do the following. Then do the following. Program. What do you want to do? A equals 1, they choose this option. Radians to degrees. What should we do now? Yes?
Wait, but you never put it question for the input of the actual.
Exactly. So we
Now
need
you
that.
ask for it.
Now we ask for it. Now we ask for it. So indeed, if they're saying radians to degrees, now they need to give us the radian measure. They need to give us what it is, right? So input, be like angle, something like that. So angle equals, you can do that. So input, program, input. I'm gonna lock it again. I like the colon key, works for me. We like the angle that you want to do.
Isn't it radians though?
Angles are in radians or degrees, so they're still angles. They're still angles. But yeah, you assume they're plugging it in radians. Okay.
Where's the colon?
Colon is the alpha decimal.
Okay.
What do you want to call that? Well, we could call the angle A. But you know what? Let's call this R, because it's radians, shall we? Let's call it R.
We did there.
Alpha R. Okay. So they just gave us R. What do we do with it?
Do that.
But we do math to it, correct? Well, math, you came to the right place, math students. What math do we do with our angle that we're calling r? Go ahead, please.
We multiply it by 180 over pi.
Multiply by 180 over
Radians.
180 over pi, yes. Right, we multiply by 180 over pi. Okay? And not only that, we have to turn that into a fraction, don't we? We have to turn that into a fraction. So what we're going to do is, we're going to display 3. This thing multiplied by 180 over pi as a fraction. And I hope it works. I hope it works. We should say actually, yes, please.
Why does it have to be a fraction? It's we're going from radians to degrees.
Because, good question. The thing is, what's going to happen is that, let's go here. Suppose they give us radians of, like we did pi over 4 before. Let's explore this. So you multiply by 180 over pi. I guess it would turn into a whole degree, wouldn't it? Automatically. It would just get away from the decimal version. Is there any decimal version of an angle? Not really. Not really. I think it's the other way around that we want to turn as a fraction. So I agree with that. Let's not mess around with the fraction now and see if this works. Okay? So let's just display what it is. Display. Or we'll say degrees after. Let's just say degrees after. We'll display what r is. So this is r. Where is my r? Alpha r. Times. I'm going to do it with this. 180 divided by second pi. Close, close. See what I'm doing? Taking this angle in radians and multiplying it by 180 over pi.
How did you get it?
Second, this caret key over here, the exponent key. And do you want to say what it is? Be like degrees or something? So if you do that, you do comma, and then we could do in quotes degrees to make it elegant so that we know what we're talking about, degrees. Has anyone gone ahead and see this if this works? If you haven't, then good, because I want to do it with you. And then we do end. So to stop the then. You go if, then, do all this stuff, and then end stops this if. So we can go to the next line. So end, the way to do that is program, and end is option 7. That's 7. Okay, so we'll leave that there for a minute. Any questions while people figure it out, typing it in?
Do you just put end on the next line?
Yeah, end on the next line. End is its own line. Yeah.
But
Question?
if you're already ending that if, you're
Yeah.
going to put it what if it's not that.
You could do else. That's true. Maybe we can come back and do else. Else would mean if do this, or if this is true, then do this. You can change this end maybe to else, meaning otherwise, a equals 2, and we're switching the other thing, degrees to radians. We could do that too. Yes?
We have a minor problem in the sleekness of the program.
Yeah, how so?
Degrees got pushed down to the next line. So
Yeah,
it's the
degrees
number
got
on the
pushed
right
down.
Side and degrees
It does do that. It does do that, but I'm glad it works. We try it?
I got an error.
There's a very weird solution we could do though.
What's that?
We could count the number.
Look at this guy.
There are 9 spaces, so we could put 9 spaces before degrees, so they'll go underneath the number on the right side.
Interesting. I'm down to do that. I'm down to do that. So,
Let me see.
Oh, it does.
all right. So what are we doing? 1, right? 1.
Wait, but it does turn to,
What?
it does do decimals.
I guess decimals are okay. Well, give me an example.
Well, I just put in 1 for angle. And it's
Oh, okay. No.
7.
Angles usually in radians are in radian mode or with pi, right? So let's do our second pi over 4. Whoa. Yeah. So sleekness not looking so good.
Although the space thing worked. But it would be different if you had a TI-84 or 83.
Yeah, it would. Yes. Question?
Well, could you go back to the
Program?
display? Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, we can mess around with this degrees thing after, so let's go ahead. I'm glad it's starting to work. This is great. Edit. Okay. Shall we do else instead of and? Let's do else, meaning if this is not true, meaning the person did too. Yes?
If you could just have it do the math and stow it to a variable, and then do display the variable and then degrees and then put in the same line.
Display the variable.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a
Say it again.
syntax error.
You can stow
Yeah.
r times 180 is divided by pi
Yeah.
into a variable such as g,
Yeah.
and then have it do display g comma degrees, and then it'll be
We did that, it would be the same thing.
Okay.
It would be the same, degrees would go to the same next line. So it's not very elegant, but it works. Yes?
But would it work out that way for the else thing that if you just did the two, then it would just do the other one?
You enter
Or-
any other number.
If you enter any other number, yeah. So this program's not foolproof. Ideally, you'd create a program, if they put in like 3, you'd be like, please try, please push 1 or 2. But we don't need to do that. We're not creating a marketable program, right on? Unless, I won't say. Yes?
Would you, if you wanted it to be specific in decimals, how would you put it in there?
It automatically does decimals, right? The calculator defaults to that. Now, I want to go into fractions for the other one. So by default, it'll be decimals. Let's do else. Make the program a little shorter. Else. Okay.
Should you else instead of and?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the end would imply that you have nothing to else. If that makes sense. Okay, so we still need to input our angle. Let's input our angle. Program, input output. And then we input the angle. So we can say again, A. Let's call it D now.
Want to put it on the other line like we did last time?
Oh, the thing with
The input empty quotations. Have the angle be displayed.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
looking at the 1, 2 thing though. Never
All right.
mind.
Yes?
Do we need to put if a equals 2?
No, that implies that A is not 1. So basically what this program is, it's definitely not a perfect program, it's a working program. They enter A1, they do this. If they put in anything else for A, it's gonna do this, right? So ideally you would make the program say, hey, Chuck, please put 1 or 2. So this is implying that they do the program right. Yes?
You could, for like continuity, you could switch D to R because
Yeah.
it's not using R before. And then
Yeah, it is. That's right. That's right. I was thinking that. You know, we can call it R. It won't matter. But we can call it D just to prove a point.
okay.
That is the angle.
Can I change the name of my program if I've already named it?
Yeah, I think in the memory key. In the memory option, second memory. All right, display. Let's do this. 3. Okay, what are we displaying now? What are we displaying now? Go ahead, yeah.
D times pi over 180.
D times pi over 180. Can we do the fraction version of that? Okay. Don't we want that? We don't want it as a decimal, we want it as a fraction. So let's see if it works. I'm just gonna try it. Math, fraction. Oh wait, I need this at the end. You see that? It says, make whatever I just did into a fraction. So I need that at the end, we'll do that. What you said is D times pi, oops, pi divided by 180. So here it is. Take my angle in degrees, multiply by pi over 180, and turn this into a fraction. I hope it works. I hope. Moment of truth. How do I do the fraction key?
Yeah.
The math button, first option.
It didn't.
Did it work?
Not for me.
It didn't work, okay. Let's see if it works for me. And then we'll try to figure it out together. Yeah, we're almost there. Execute my degradia. Hit 2.
Oh no, I think I did.
Angle, so maybe 45?
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't have the pi in there. What, yo, what's that?
Oh,
That should
No,
be
I think
pi.
it didn't work because it isn't a perfect fraction.
The pi doesn't make it that. The pi is irrational. So I believe this should be pi over 4. Let's prove it. Second pi divided by 4. Yeah.
We want the
So yeah, we want the beautiful fraction.
But do we want to multiply it by like 3.14515?
That wouldn't be beautiful.
It won't be exact, but it'll give us the closest fraction.
But it won't turn into a fraction because pi goes on forever.
I know, but if you want it as a
Like, if we wanted to show.
As a-
Couldn't we add,
Yeah.
change it from multiplying by pi by multiplying it by a variable, since we just want it to have, like, show as a variable? We don't want like the value of pi.
Yeah.
That's-
So
We don't
can
want the value of pi. You're right. We don't want the value of pi. We just want to divide by 180.
Yeah, so we
And we
can
imply
put,
pi is there.
we can put like the symbol instead of radian, although it would be confusing. We could do it like
Yeah.
as x or something to.
I like the idea. So let's go into program and edit the program. And we scroll down. So now I don't need to multiply by pi. In fact, I could just multiply by 1. In other words, I could just do d over 180. In other
No, but
words.
then again, we'd only see like 1 over 4 and we put that as.
Yes, we'd see 1 over 4, but then we have to add pi to that.
We'd probably all forget to do that.
No, I'm saying we're going to write that to them. We're going to say this
That's
pi.
a good idea.
We're going to say 1 over 4 pi. I mean, look, this is, I mean, if we do this part, then we're done with the program, essentially, the math of it. That'll do it. That'll do it. It'll just be on the next line.
Same line. I tried it.
It's on a different line.
It's on a different line.
You want to move it over? Space, 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 space? Want to do it? So that it's underneath at least? That's all I can think of, unless someone has a better suggestion.
Yeah, and it like continues.
Move it over. If anyone has a better idea or can think of a way to keep it all in the same line? Yes?
We could shorten it. It doesn't have to say degrees completely. It could be like.
No,
it could be like.
just pi. I just tested it out. It comes on me.
It comes on the next line, right. So you have 1/4 here and pi here.
Yeah.
So I'm saying move the pi so it's underneath at least,
Yeah.
so that it looks like it's 1 over 4 pi sort of grouped in the same neighborhood. Yes?
I know it's really doubtful,
Yeah.
but would it? No.
I'm glad you're thinking. This is great. Yes?
Wouldn't it be a good idea to put the pi before and put pi times and then put the rest? At least it would say in the same line pi times and then the number.
I think anytime you do display, comma, 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 it'll go to the next line. The issue is when you display, comma, here, it'll go to the next line.
Do we need the comma?
Yeah, so display,
Could we replace it with a space?
But at
maybe,
least it would
possibly?
be before.
I think you get an error.
Let's see.
Try it out. While you do that, I'm gonna go with the only answer I can know for sure works. Please, other people, experiment. How can we make it all on the same line? If you can't figure it out, it's okay. I challenge you though to do that. Was that enough?
Yep, error.
Yeah, it didn't work. Okay, I'm glad you're checking though.
Yeah,
It's awesome. All right. And now I'm going to do end to end my if statement.
How many spaces do we do?
I didn't even count. Program, execute. So it's anyone who has the 84 as well.
15,
2.
14 or 15 spaces.
5 or 4. Oh, degrees to radians. No, that's not 5. It's 45. 45. 1 over 4.
Pi.
Pi.
Right. 1 pi.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful pie though.
How many more do I need? I need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more maybe.
My bet is 9.
But then
9. What's up?
it's gonna look like if the pi was with a 4 instead of on top.
You have to know.
So
You have to know pi's in the numerator.
I think it would be actually better if you were to put pi times and
And then
then
the fraction.
under, and to the other side would say time. And then
Numerically, you're right. The issue
No,
is
I
people's.
I did it.
What'd you do?
I don't know. Let me count how many spaces I did, but I.
But it's below. Is it
But
below?
it's right below.
Right below, yeah. Right below. I want to do right below. Whoa, here's your calendar. Whoa, hello. There you go.
It keeps doing dot 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 for mine.
Yeah, I have a dot,
I think I have
dot,
too much.
Did you go too far?
Yeah.
You went too far.
Bro, I need like 2 or 3 more, bro.
I want to do a different angle now, see if it works for different angles. I'd edit, execute. So 2 for me. Okay, so what degrees?
Too little.
What do you want to do? Maybe 135?
Close.
I mean, I'm not so upset with it. I really am. It works.
Mine were, I think
Is
it's
it
because
possible-
yours
is it
is a
possible
lot
we could
wider
put-
than mine.
Yeah,
Possible we could.
Because yours, a lot of them, they fit on the same line, like the whole thing fits on one line.
Sure.
but For us, it doesn't.
yeah, and then this could be like 15, so I have to be careful to put too many. If I put too many spaces, if this was like 15 over 4, I would spill. What were you gonna say?
Is it possible to put like quote pi, comma, then the to make?
I think anytime you do display, comma, it'll go to the next line. So it would be the same issue. I'm glad you're thinking. He thought of that too, and the issue is as well. I chose to write it this way because I feel like this is how we say it. 3 over 4, pi. 3 over 4, pi. So it works.
Yeah.
It works. That's great. Let's do it again. One more. Last one. Last one. Who's going to use this on their tests?
I'm gonna use this one.
Probably. You're like, yeah. What do you want to do?
Should we try rad to degrading?
Okay.
Rad.
Rad to degrading? You know, you were really awesome, but now I hate you. That's rad to degrading. One.
So rad, but now you're just degree.
Okay, what's the angle in radians? Pi. How
It
about,
should be like a number and pi. Or
yeah, do it. How about like,
we should have pi over 6.
we did pi over 4, let's do a bigger one. 7 pi over
4.
4.
Pi over 4.
7 pi over 4, let's do 7 pi over 4. 7. Alpha, not alpha. Pi. Divided by 4. No, please. Divided by 4. That's right.
Is there any
I
way to-
should move that,
Yeah.
315 degrees. Was this helpful? Did you like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's helpful. I mean, not only do you do a program, but now you have something that does the work for you. That's part of the point of programming. So I'm really excited. That's great. That's great. Okay, everyone, give yourselves a hand and say bye. Bye.